Hi friends, welcome back. Time for another story. Story time, woohoo! Today we are reading Some Pig by E.B. White. It's a pictured book adapted from the book called Charlotte's Web, also by E.B. White. I can't really say that I've ever read Charlotte's Web. I have watched the Disney version, but this is more of a picture story, so it's not as extensive and it's more for a younger crowd. So there's the beginning of the Some Pig. So here we go. Fern loved Wilbur more than anything. She loved to stroke him, to feed him, to put him to bed. Every morning, as soon as she got up, she warmed his milk, tied his bib on, and held the bottle for him. Aww, how cute is Wilbur? He's super cute. Every afternoon when the school bus stopped in front of her house, Fern jumped out and ran to the kitchen to fix another bottle for him. She fed him again at supper time and again before going to bed. Mrs. Arable gave him a feeding around noontime each day when Fern was away at school. There they are. Wilbur loved his milk, and he was never happier than when Fern was warming up a bottle for him. He would stand and gaze up at her with adoring eyes. For the first few days of his life, Wilbur was allowed to live in a box near the stove in the kitchen. Then when Mrs. Arable complained, he was moved to a bigger box in the woodshed. Look at him. He is super cute little pig. At 2 weeks of age, he moved outdoors. It was apple blossom time, and the days were getting warmer, and Mr. Arable fixed a small yard especially for Wilbur under the apple tree, and gave him a large wooden box full of straw with a doorway cut in so he could walk in and out as he pleased. "Won't he be cold at night?" asked Fern. "No," said his father. "You watch and see what he does." How pretty is that to be by all those pink trees? Carrying a bottle of milk, Fern sat down under the apple tree inside the yard, and Wilbur ran to her, and she held the bottle for him while he sucked. Then he finished the last drop, he grunted and walked sleepily into his box. Fern peered through the door, and Wilbur was poking the straw with his snout. In a short time, he dug a tunnel in the straw, and Fern was entranced. It relieved her mind to know that her baby would sleep covered up and would stay warm. Look at his little piggy butt. Every morning after breakfast, Wilbur walked out to the road with Fern and waited for her till the bus came. She would wave goodbye to him, and he would stand and watch the bus until it vanished around the turn. He's like a pet dog. While Fern was in school, Wilbur was shut up inside the yard, but as soon as she got home in the afternoon, she would take him out and he would follow her around the place. If she went into the house, Wilbur went too. If she went upstairs, Wilbur would wait at the bottom until she came down. Look at him waiting there, how cute. If she took her doll for a walk in the baby carriage, Wilbur followed. Sometimes on the journeys, Wilbur would get tired, and Fern would pick him up and put him in the carriage alongside the doll. He liked this, and if he was very tired, he would close his eyes and go to sleep under the doll's blanket. And he looked cute with his eyes closed because his lashes were so long. The doll would close her eyes too, and Fern would wheel the buggy very slowly and smoothly as though not to wake her little infants. Huh? How cute is that? One warm afternoon, Fern and Avery put on their bathing suits and went down to the brook for a swim, and Wilbur tagged along at Fern's heels. Well, I bet he would like to go in the water. When she waded into the brook, Wilbur waded in with her. He found the water was quite cold, too cold for his liking, so while the children swam and played and splashed around with each other, Wilbur amused himself in the mud along the edge of the brook, where it was warm and moist and delightfully sticky and oozy. He's gonna be all dirty. That's what pigs like to do, though. Every day was a happy day, and every night was peaceful. Look at that nice, peaceful night on the farm. Wilbur's getting bigger. Wilbur was what the farmers called a spring pig, which simply means that he was born in springtime. And when he was 5 weeks old, Mr. Arable said he was now big enough to sell and would have to be sold. Fern broke down and wept, but her father was firm about it. Wilbur's appetite had increased, and he was beginning to eat scraps of food in addition to milk. And Mr. Arable was not willing to provide for him much longer, and he had already sold Wilbur's 10 brothers and sisters. Uh-oh. Poor Fern. "He's got to go, Fern," he said. "You have had your fun raising a baby pig, but Wilbur is not a baby any longer, and he has to be sold." "Call up the Zuckermans," suggested Mrs. Arable to Fern. "Your Uncle Homer sometimes raises a pig. If Wilbur goes there to live, you can walk down the road and visit him as often as you like." "How much money would I ask for him?" "Well," the father said, "he's a runt. Tell your Uncle Homer you've got a pig you'll sell him for $6 and see what he says." $6 doesn't seem like much for a pig, does it? Soon it was arranged. Fern phoned and got her Aunt Edith, and Aunt Edith hollered for Uncle Homer, and Uncle Homer came in from the barn and talked to Fern. And when he heard the pig was only $6, he said he would buy that pig. The next day, Wilbur was taken from his home under the apple tree and went to live in the manure pile in the cellar of Zuckerman's farm. I don't think I'd want to live in a manure pile. And that's the end. So now the pig is living on a farm with Uncle Homer and Aunt Edith. So there you go. If you enjoy my stories, please subscribe and come back for some more. If you have any titles of books you'd like to hear me read, put it in the suggestion in the comments below, and name and title, and I'll see if I have it or if I can find it. I hope you have a fantastic day.